Hello, and welcome to another episode of C-Suite to CEO Chat. Yes, I am your host, Shawanna Kennedy. Super excited, hippopotamus, happy because this is part two. If you missed our part one with Sha Cannon, you missed a treat, and you have got to take yourself back over there and watch part one. We have been talking all things assets as it relates to branding. Sha have been truly putting it down. This is an author, a speaker. She is a coach. She is somebody's fractional officer. This woman goes around the world, showing you how to live your life of freedom while taking care of your business. She gets the privilege to help multiple 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs to scale their business, right? And let their business take care of them and their freedom. I'm excited. I'm not going to waste any time because you got to check out part one. We're not going to delay. I want to get Miss Sha Cannon in here so we can continue this conversation. Won't you help me welcome Sha Cannon back to the C-Suite? Hey, welcome back, Sha. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we're taking time to continue this conversation because it was getting good. So,
okay,
so
why don't you kind of tease them a little bit, kind of let them know what they missed so they can kind of be like, dang it, I need to go back to grab.
So we talked about, a personal brand, what it is, how to get started with it, why it's important, what you can do with it once you build it. Like we talked about some good stuff. So they need to go back and check out part one.
I love it. So I still, I got some more questions. Because when we think about the importance of online presence, anybody that know me, I'm all things with Kennedy Media to be seen, be heard, and look, be paid. If you're fortunate enough to do what you do and do it well, they will pay you to do what you do. Let's talk about some digital assets. When we talk about assets, right? Because how are you positioning your assets, right? What does that look like as a business owner, entrepreneur, when you think about what do they really need to get started? If they're not really in it all the way and they're just now saying, okay, now I'm ready, because we do understand that it takes more than, it says 7 to 10 times, but I believe it is actually over 10 times before people really lean in when they see your online presence, before they even kind of begin to start paying you some attention, right? I could go into the stats and talk about the 95% of the importance of people really leaning in if your video versus the 10% when they see your written work. Let's talk about the digital assets. How important is that?
So digital assets or just branding assets are very much needed, right? I want you to think about it like, I'm going to say it in a way to make sure that y'all remember. You need to have branding assets, okay? Because I want you to think of branding I want you to think of it as you need to show your assets, okay? If you want to be seen, be heard, and be paid, then you're going to have to show your assets, all right? So let's talk about some of the assets that you need, okay? You definitely need a headshot. I know it's hard sometimes to think of paying people to do this professional photo shoot. Okay, again, get in the sunlight, okay, and get some, get in a neutral background, face forward and eyes straight, okay, and let's get the best cell phone, the best iPhone. Some of these iPhone cameras and Samsung cameras are better than some of the digital cameras, so let's get it going, okay, and do a nice little pose to where you're at least getting about as much as we're showing on the camera right now, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, my background is way too busy for a headshot, okay? Shawanna's background is a little too busy for the headshot. Now, if she did not have the C-Suite CEO chat sign in the back, it would be fine. If I didn't have all this crap over here and this painting, it would be fine, okay? So we need to where the focus is you, your eyes, your face, okay? Your hair shouldn't be cut off, okay? All shoulders should be in, okay? But you need a nice headshot. Now, if you are fortunate enough that you can afford a photo shoot, then what I want you to get is a lifestyle photo shoot, okay? I don't even want you to worry about headshots. Just make sure you're facing forward in most of those pictures, okay? And when you do a lifestyle photo shoot, what you're doing is you're kind of showing lifestyle. It kind of reminds you of pictures in magazines, okay? So you're going to be, maybe you'll be, a picture will be taken of you drinking something, sitting somewhere, posing in locations, okay? Things like that. And then what they can do is they can snap out and crop out a headshot from that, okay? So don't forget that you can do that. If you have a nice picture of you where the lighting is on you, we can see your eyes and you're like, oh, but it's like your background, Shay, it's too much stuff. That's what Canva is for. Go in there, remove the background and put yourself on a solid background, okay? Now, one of the things that I have learned is that if you're lighter toned like me, then you need something around you where you don't wash out. So if you're lighter tone, don't put yourself on a lighter tone. If you're darker tone, don't put yourself on a darker tone. So there needs to be contrast so that you stand out and you don't, kind of mesh in. We're not trying to hide, we're trying to be seen. So you definitely need a headshot. If you can get a whole photo shoot, I would love a photo shoot. That way we can pull out some fun shots when we need it, and we can pull out our head shots, okay? The next thing that you're gonna need is you're gonna need a logo. Yeah, at some point you're gonna need a logo, one that represents your brand. I have one that represents my personal brand. I have one that represents my service, and I have one that represents almost everything offer that I have. I create a logo for it, okay? You don't have to go that far, okay? But when you are ready for your business to be identifiable, you get a logo, all right? Now, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure that you have a bio. Yes, you need a biography. People need to know about you, okay? They need to know who you are, who you serve, how you serve them, and what are your credentials to do so, okay? So you need a short version of that, and you need a long version of that. When we talking short version, we're talking about one that's about 100, 150 words that someone would use to introduce you. When we're talking about long, we're talking about one that somebody would use in like a write-up, okay? So you need a bio. The next thing that you're gonna need as you get into it with logos and stuff is you're gonna need brand colors. What are your brand colors? So that they can associate that color with you. And that, let me tell you, is more than your favorite color. I need you to Google psychology of color. Did you know that colors mean stuff? Did you know that colors evokes different emotions from humans? Like a lot of people's favorite color is red, but if you use the wrong tone of red, the message that you're sending on a subconscious level is stop, danger, go away. Okay. And that's not what you want people to do with your brand. You don't want them to go away from your brand. You don't want them to stop looking at your brand. And then there are colors that calm people, right? We're talking about, it could be some earth tones. It could be some greens, right? And then we have ones that are bright and vibrant that signal energy, orange and yellow, right? Blue is trust, and royalty is purple, and all of these things. So Google the psychology of color so we can go ahead and pick brand colors, and that's where we're putting our logos in. And that can be your assets that you're getting started. Because as you raise your visibility and you're doing like Shawanna and I do, we have these speaking engagements and we're going on podcasts, what is the first thing that they ask for? They ask you to show your assets, okay? So you're gonna need that headshot. You're gonna need that bio in the least. So at least start with those things.
I love it. Don't y'all love it? Don't y'all love it? Are y'all following? Thank you for all the love in the comments. Say, Shay, we love you in the minutes. Make sure you're actually following Sha Cannon right now. She's Sha Cannon everywhere. I have to ask this question because this is the C-suite where we talk about the good, the bad, and sometimes ugly of being a CEO. Let's get into it though, because you have been in it a minute.
Yes.
We talk about those ebbs and flows in business. Share, if you don't mind, sharing a time when, because it's not always roses, it's not always peaches and cream as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, right? You have to be, I believe you have to be a chief operating officer in your life first, and then, those things then show up in whatever business that you have the opportunity and be privileged enough to operate. Talk about what it looks like when it's ugly, though. Let's help somebody be like, oh, that sounds cute. Oh, that's good. But that ain't how I feel right now.
Well, it's so funny because, they say that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? So that doesn't stop us from planning, but we need to always understand that our plan may not be the best plan for us or may not be the path that we're supposed to be taking. As I said, in business, you evolve. When I recognized that coaching was my purpose, not working inside of businesses and managing their business and being sequestered from helping as many people as I could, right? I understood that my purpose was coaching so that I could help way more people, and I can help them get to that first milestone of 6 figures, because once you hit 6 figures, it's crazy how the world opens up to you, and now you can hit the multiple 6 figures, and now it's kind of like real business. I hate to say it, but you don't necessarily experience real business until you hit 6 figures. It's not that you're rich at 6 figures. No, you're not rich. What happens is at 6 figures is when now you can afford all the things that you were bootstrapped. Okay, at 6 figures, now you can invest in the things you're supposed to invest in. Now you can invest in your next level and some of those obstacles, right? And so it's not that you're rich at 6 figures. It's just that it's something about making it to that milestone and how business and life opens up for you. Well, let me tell you how just because you make it there, don't mean you might get to stay there. Okay, because at the end of the day, I've had plenty of businesses that I helped to get to that first 6 figures. But what you don't understand is the next 6 figures and 7 figures takes a different you. It takes a different CEO. It takes a different business owner. It takes a different business owner to start a business and then hit 6 figures and then to stay at 6 figures. So when you think that what you've always done is going to work and it doesn't work, like, what do you do next? You go back to the drawing board. That's what you do, right? What is your purpose? Why are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? What is the transformation you're supposed to be giving? Because see, sometimes some of us get in that mode of over giving. We out here giving the kitchen sink, and the original transformation gets lost, right? So always go back to that drawing board of clarity. And this is what I had to do. So let me explain to you how I could have a 7-figure business if I would just have an agency model on my fractional COO side. My reputation as a fractional COO is impeccable. I am the fractional COO. I got most of my money through referrals because my clients would be with other CEOs and they would be talking about their problems. And my clients would tell them, oh, I don't know. We don't have that problem. My COO handles that. And so what you know is people want to know, who is your COO? And you know, are they taking clients? Like, can I talk to her? So there was I had to be exclusive on that side of my business and not take everybody that wanted to work with me, because I didn't want an agency model. I wanted to stay at the capacity that I can handle without trying to, hire a team to handle that. You are supposed to have a team. I'm not going to have a team for you. So on that side, could have made plenty of money. But once I realized what my purpose was, right? That purpose was to coach. And coaching I can do at scale, which meant I can help more people, which meant I could change more lives. Once that came into my spirit that I knew I was supposed to be doing that, I realized how being on that service side at capacity was taken away from me going to my coaching side. I knew this, but I knew I was supposed to be on that coaching side as my purpose. But I kept allowing my service clients to monopolize my time, and all of their problems become my problems. And now I can't come over here and get this started or keep it going until that first recent depression we had in the last 3 years, right? We had like one, and then we had like a re-episode. Well, let me tell you how it's crazy that I was making multiple 6 figures. I was at capacity of clients with 10 CEO clients. And let me tell you how when that depression hit and they had to lower their expenses, the first thing companies do when they lower expenses is let staff go. They let team go. Well, they wanted to let the smaller people go and keep me, but that's not what's best for their business. And as a COO, I have a duty to tell them what's best for their business. So I effectively had to fire myself from these people's businesses. So I went from having 10 clients to having 3 clients, and then to having 2 clients. So can you imagine the reduction in revenue that was, right? Now, it's crazy because I ultimately understood and I knew, okay, I can go out and get more fractional COO clients, but what I understand is my focus is supposed to be over here in this coaching where my purpose is, okay? So I dropped down from multiple 6 figures to just under 6 figures, okay? And now I'm trying to start up this coaching business. But I went back to my clarity. Who am I? Who am I supposed to serve? How am I supposed to serve them? Okay. Who are they in detail? Do I know who my ideal client is that I'm supposed to be coaching? Because I have to be able to speak their language so that they understand that when I'm talking to them. And so I went back to that clarity and I applied it to that coaching. And then I started from the ground up and started growing the coaching business. And now it's growing and it's growing. And so now I'm coming out of that revenue rut, right? But it's funny because I saw a meme, y'all, and the meme said, I wrote a book on how to make money. Now I need somebody to help me to publish it. And the comment was, read the book. Why you need money to publish a book on how to make money? You're supposed to know how to make money, right? So as a coach that can help you get to your first 6 figures, I'm supposed to know how to get my own business on the coaching side to its first 6 figures. And so that's what I did. I leaned on my expertise, going back to the clarity and bringing that up. And so now, it's no longer a stressful thing that I went drop down for multiple 6 figures, trying to figure out, what we're going to do. The climate has changed. Well, the funny thing is the people who no longer can afford me on the service side, guess what? These coaching people over here, because I help them to make money and they understand the value, that side is just rising. So yes, things are going to change. Nothing stays the same. This is why even in our personal lives, when bad things happen, we're supposed to have the memories of the good times, right? And when good times happen, we're supposed to treasure them because it's not going to be that way always, right? So ebbs and flows, nothing's going to stay the same. And so always go back to what works. Always go back to the clarity and start over.
Yeah, knowing, like we've said it over and over, and that's because there is truth to it. Knowing the why, and the why has to be bigger. It's knowing your call. It's knowing your call. It's knowing what you are purposed to do. It's the thing that you're passionate about. It's the thing that wakes you up. It's the thing that keeps you up. It's the thing that you honestly, we're being honest, that we would do even if we weren't being paid. And that's why I say the kicker is you'd be like, man, and I get paid to do this. And that's a blessing when you can actually operate from that space. So if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and that's what you get to do, I say we get to do it because God could choose and use anybody, but he desires to use and to choose us. So if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and you are not walking in your gift, you're not walking in your purpose, in the passion that you know that you have been called, and it's the pulling and tugging. If you needed a sign, if you needed the thing, this is it. This is that moment. This is that time. So I say, get off your do something and do something. And I'm big on saying do something today that your future self will thank you for. Shay, you have been really killing it over here. I cannot say it enough. I truly do appreciate the things that you have helped my business. You've helped my business to grow tremendously. Just being able to even stay close to you, be able to, if I have a question, look, Shay got a link for everything. So even if you needed to have a paid chat with her, it really would behoove you and your business some good to just make sure you are leaning in, where sometimes you just need to have somebody else to say, you know what, actually I am on the right track, right? And it's having the people who have done even greater, right, that than you have, right? If you are the smartest in the room, you've heard it 1,000 times before. If you're the smartest in the room, then you're in the wrong room, because then that means you're not allowing yourself to grow. And I know that we are definitely called more, and we are being prepared for the things that are already prepared for us. So with that thought, I have got to ask you, because we talk about it all the time. You already know how I feel about video. People be like, oh, it's saturated. There's thousands of coaches. There's thousands that do that. I need you to help somebody who be like, well, I don't want to do the thing because it's a saturated market. Everybody and their mama is doing it. Let's talk to the business owner and entrepreneur that needs to understand the uniqueness of their voice. Talk about the saturated market.
So every time you feel like the market is saturated and they can't take one more person in that market, I want you to go to the grocery store and go down the bread aisle. Go to the grocery store and go down the bread aisle. So you think bread is just bread? Go down the aisle, okay? There are different types of bread. And then even within the type of bread or category of bread, there's different versions of it. There's different brands of it. So what you have to understand is come from behind that confidence that you lack and go in front with the value that you have. Because even it's crazy, because one of my old coaches used to say, even a toddler can teach a baby how to walk. See, some of us think you have to be a full-grown adult to teach the next person something. All you have to do is teach somebody what you know that they don't know to be of value to them, right? And so, again, it's not about you, but what I really want you to kind of get in your brain is when it comes to being of service, and I'm not even going to get biblical on you, but when it comes to being of service, you focus on helping somebody on their journey with the tools that you have. You don't worry about the tools that you don't have, because maybe that means you pass them off to somebody else. Okay, so you niche down to what you understand and what you can help with. Don't worry about the part before you can help them. Don't worry about the part after you could stop helping them. Okay, focus on the part that you can do. So when you think it's saturated, I want you to think back to the people that help you. Okay, think back to the people that help you. There was more than one person that could have helped you, especially when you start to invest in your professional development. Sometimes what you recognize, even in your personal life, is you heard something 1,000 times. You heard it 1,000 times, and then one person came along and said it a different way, and you finally got it. But you heard this thing 1,000 times, and then somebody comes to you, say it in a way that sparks something, and now you got it. Well, guess what? That's you. You're the 1 in 1,000. You're the 1 in 1,000,000 that can say it in a way that a specific percentage of people need to hear it. You're that one brand of bread that somebody needed, okay? Amongst the whole aisle of bread, somebody wanted yours, okay? They didn't want just wheat bread. They wanted wheat bread with the sesame seed. They got an Alabama accent, okay? Let's keep going. This is why we said that one of the best things you can do is stand out, is to be you. How would you say it? How would you explain it? Not how everybody else has said it, not how everybody else has explained it, because guess what? Plenty of people out there didn't understand a word they said. How would you explain it? Okay? Because somebody is out there waiting for the way that you would say it so that they can be unstuck in life, in business, in whatever. So start with where you are and with who you are and get started. I don't care who else is doing it. Nobody else is you, and therefore nobody else can do it like you.
I hope you are listening. I hope you are listening. I hope you are listening. And matter of fact, look, find us, tag us, and be like, because we'll be like, who is this? Be like, I started. Just be like, just say, I'm going to get started, or that's me. Let us know in the chat, in the comments, that you are listening. If we're talking to you, be like, that's me. Let us know. Make sure if you haven't already shared this broadcast out, be sure to share this broadcast. Be sure that you are actually not only following Sha Cannon, follow Sha Cannon, follow Sha Cannon. Make sure you're actually following me.
COO everywhere. Sha Cannon COO everywhere.
You hear that? Sha Cannon COO. It's actually going to be in the show notes, right? It's going to be in the description. You'll be able to find her everywhere. Because I'm telling you, she everywhere. She is everywhere. I'm loving this conversation, and I know, look, our time is far spent, but I do have to ask you, because, and I have you in the seat, and this conversation was all about branding and knowing the importance of our visibility. So the same way I started is the same way I actually want to end this conversation, in this episode for right now, talking about the importance of us being seen, of us being heard, our voice, our message, the importance of that. Because like you just said, sometimes it takes more than just people hearing me say it. It's having other business owners, successful CEOs, talk about the importance of visibility. And yes, I will say it, video visibility. I need you just to talk about that in your summation of just our time here on C-Suite, a CEO Chat. What does that mean for you? What does that look like for business owners to really understand? Because I know even some of the most confident men and women that we know, they're confident. So it's not even about them saying, well, no, I know my stuff. We need to lean into being okay to come from behind the scenes and begin to show up more so that the people who need us, they can find us. I need you to talk to us for a moment on that.
No problem. So what I need people to understand is now more than ever, the gatekeepers are gone, right? Nobody can keep you down but you at this point. Okay, the gatekeepers are gone. Do you realize that it used to be the only way for you to be on video and broadcast out, you had to pay somebody, okay? Lots of money. And you were in competition with the people who had lots of money, okay? We used to have to wait to be on TV. We used to have to wait to be on radio. We used to have to wait to be chosen. And what we know is if you was a certain color, you was less likely to be chosen, even if you had money, okay? And these days, if you want to be seen, you need only get on camera. If you want to be heard, you need only hit record. So nobody is in the way but you, and yet you have a calling and a purpose. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, again, it's not about you, it's about who are you here to serve. Some of you forget that some of that abundance you're trying to manifest, you can't get because you're not doing what you was called to do. Okay, so while you're out here manifesting and trying to get on the right frequency, okay, and say the right affirmation, I am, okay, you're supposed to be doing. Okay, and I don't mean faith without works is dead. That's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about for most of you, your abundance is on the other side of you doing what you were called to do. So that purpose that you're running from and not doing your all to fulfill, your abundance is probably on the other side of you fulfilling that purpose. It's crazy because one of the things that I thought about was when I was in that struggle of COO service or my coaching business. I was like, I make good money on the COO side though. Like, I mean, do I want to dip down to try to build a coaching business and bring it up to where this service side already is? And what I was reminded is, oh, but my purpose is over here on this coaching side. And my purpose is always going to make room for me. And my purpose is always going to bring my abundance. And what I had to recognize was what I wanted to scale and reach an unlimited amount of people was on the coaching side. That was never on my service side. So when you lean in to your purpose and get out of your ego, because it's not about you, that's when you're going to start to experience your purpose. That's when you're going to start to experience your worthiness. That's when you're going to start to experience your confidence. All the things you lack to get started are going to become commonplace if you just get started. So yes, go back to having a brand. Go back to being visible, because you cannot spread the word to the multitude unless you get in front of the multitude. Okay? And you can't do that without visibility. So get out your own way.
Woo! Fire, all the things, all the sound effects, everything. You already know, Shay, I love you. I'm publicly say that. I appreciate you so much for even stopping by the C-suite, y'all. I told you, we talk to business owners and entrepreneurs from all over the globe. And this time, I'm so glad that, look, Mexico was available to just kind of peek in on our episode tonight and joining us here on C-suite. I appreciate you so much, Shay. You go nowhere. Let me get them out of here. Y'all, now I know if y'all didn't appreciate it, I did. Show her some love in the comments. Make sure you again are following Cannon COO. She is everywhere. Join her. You can find her right even on YouTube. She has a morning show, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. You have got to be connected to the people who know that in this season of your life, they're going to help you be a better you. It's all about you, but the people that we get to serve, because the thing that you have, somebody else needed. She talked a whole bunch about it. So again, if you're just catching this episode, it will behoove you it admonished you to go back and check part 1. Make sure you are tuned in and locked into me. That's right. I'll say it. I'll brag about it. Make sure you're following me, Shawanna Kennedy, on all social media platforms, because locked in, I'm appreciative of you taking your time to stop by the C-suite, because I get to be here because it's people like you who watch what I do. I am all about you creating and increasing your visibility because somebody needs what you have. But I thank you for joining me for this episode of C-Suite, the CEO Chat. I enjoy being your host. Again, I'm Shawanna Kennedy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.
This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.